Good evening, everyone. We're out again looking for some snakes, and right at the start of our walk we found this gorgeous little female bamboo pit viper. So we've got a long walk to go. We're not going to spend too much time, but she's quite gorgeous. This is really tiny. I would say the head, as we're looking at, is probably only about 1.5 centimeters wide. And you can tell it's a female because there's no white stripe above the mouth or white striping down the sides. And she's kind of cool because she's got a little bit of a yellowish coloration to her as well. A little bit less emerald green, a little bit more yellowy, which is definitely something that happens. And we've also got a lot of, looks like flying termites out right now. So this is a pretty cool find. This is not unusual at all to see them up on a chain link fence like this. We had some buddies not long ago out, and they found 5 within a couple of square meters of fencing. So pretty common. Also, one of the reasons why it's not that uncommon for people to get bit by these. People who live in villages and things like that put their hand on a fence to open it, and there can be a bamboo sitting there if you're not paying attention. So anyways, we're gonna get off and to it, see if we can find some other stuff, but really great fast start. Alright everyone, we've got snake number 2 here, and it's another bamboo pit viper. This one's tough to tell. I think this actually might be a male. It looks pretty faded. Hard to say, maybe a female. But this one's set up on a branch right across from a tree, and I assume waiting for a meal. Very standard bamboo pose right there. So yeah, good start. We're still early in our walk, so we'll get back at it, see if we can get some more species on. Alright folks, we've got a redneck keelback with a big meal in its belly. And he's down in a riverbed, so I'm not going to bother him. But you can see the lump in his side. I can't get a great vantage on the head, but call this a voucher video. I don't have much of a better angle, so. Anyways, redneck keelback. We've seen these before on the video. And yeah, third snake tonight. Probably been walking for about maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Maybe a little over an hour now, actually. But not bad. We'll keep at it, see if we can come up with something else. Alright folks, we've got another bamboo pit viper. This one is on the move on the ground, which is always kind of cool to observe. And this one's a male. You can maybe see from the white striping along the sides there. But that's bamboo pit viper number 3 with 1 redneck keelback. So pretty good so far. We will keep moving and see if maybe we could add another species to the list. Alright folks, we have a very special treat tonight. This is the largest Chinese Cobra I've ever seen. And it's also a golden brown in color. Actually, my buddy that I was with, or that I'm with here now, when we first saw it, we weren't sure if it was a king or not. But it's off hunting in these gutters looking for toads and anything else. At this size, I'm sure it could take down mammals and a whole lot of other stuff. But what an amazing snake. Really, really big. And really ornate hood markings too. I've seen ornate hood markings like this on a juvenile that was gray in color, and who knows, maybe that's a genetic line that kind of grows up this golden brown color. But he's got a little bit of yellow flecking and mottling on the tail as well. Giant cobra head. He's kind of half flattening out his hood. I know we haven't seen these on the vlog before. We actually saw a king cobra before we saw a Chinese cobra. But what a cool specimen. Check out the size of this guy. Here's that yellow flecking down the tail, like I mentioned. You can see these cobras have pretty thick, robust scales. And this one's much more chilled out and deliberate than a lot of the other ones we see. Normally when you're this close, they hood right up. And I've got a handle on my video rig here that gives me a little bit of separation, and I've got a hook that's just about ready to shoot out in front too if we need to. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the cooler species that we've got in Hong Kong, and they're not all that unusual to bump into. Pretty intense find. And this one's a little bit roughed up as well. You can see there on the lip, it's missing a chunk of the upper left side of its lip. Who knows what that's from? And I noticed on some of its hood on the opposite side there that it's also missing a little bit of a chunk. So it looks like it's been in some battles over the years. And what a brute. What an amazing, amazing snake. I think we're gonna get a little bit more photos and B-roll, and then we're gonna go ahead and let it move on its way. But this is a cool find for tonight. Thought we were gonna be cleaning up with the bamboos, but got this right towards the end of the walk. We're actually just about to start heading out again, so this is a find right at the point we were turning around. All right. We will pop back in if we find anything else approaching this level of cool. So it's going to be tough to see, but down in this little gully there is a toad on the far left and a redneck keelback on the far right. And the keelback looks like he's on the hunt. And normally when they're this close to toads, that's exactly what's going on. So we're just going to watch this for a minute, see how long my light lasts, flashing this bright, and see if the keelback doesn't make a move. So actually, let's take a break real quick, and I'll switch back on if the keelback moves closer to him. Alright. The redneck is literally right underneath the toad. He smells him for sure. Not sure how this is going to play out, but right now this is a very lucky toad. Looks like the redneck might be moving into the brush pile, but it's hard to say if he's coming back around from behind the toad or not. Quite far away, so I have to use a pretty powerful light to get this shot. And I'm hoping you guys can see it pretty clearly. Okay, the redneck's coming around right behind the frog. I had to pause for a second because I have a bee flying around my hand. And now the redneck looks like he's moving away. The toad is angled into a defensive posture, leaning towards the redneck and puffing up a bit. It looks like the redneck's actually backing off. Right through those sticks, he's kind of headed away. Oh, I can see the head coming back around this side. He's kind of stalking a bit. The head's coming on the left side by that leaf there. I can see the head moving and the tongue flicking. Now the toad's getting pretty agitated. The toad knows something's going on. I can still see part of the redneck in the woodpile there, but it doesn't look like it's circling around to the toad yet. Alright, this may very well be the last snake of our evening, but it's a bamboo pit viper slithering along the road. I think I'm actually going to help him into the brush because this is not a heavily traveled road, but there are cars on it from time to time, and I definitely don't think it's a good spot for him to be sitting. But it's another small, well, medium-sized male, I guess. They can get a little bit bigger than this for sure. But, yeah. Wait. Cool snake. This one's a bit striky, not too happy with me. Being very vipery there, and off he goes.